An ongoing and alarming trend. Thieves smash a car into a 7-Eleven store in Oakland to steal merchandise. Latest burglary happened yesterday morning at the store on Piedmont Avenue.
This type of crime is happening so often that 7-Eleven has shut down 2 Oakland stores recently. The 2 shuttered locations are on MacArthur Boulevard and 23rd Avenue. A source familiar with the situation tells reporter Dahlin they closed a month ago due to repeated burglaries and robberies.
A source tells me 7-Eleven closed down the 2 stores on April 30th. They removed the logos and boarded up the storefronts. Now they're covered in graffiti and some broken glass. Now the remaining stores in Oakland, I'm told they're dealing with a lot of crime. The latest 7-Eleven burglary in Oakland happened Saturday morning before 5 a.m. They were closed at the time. Burglars backed a stolen car to break down the glass doors. Manager Gautam Kumar says it's the 3rd burglary at the store in 5 months.
It's really tough to run the business now these days. You know, most of the insurance company, they are running out.
Gautam says the burglars are targeting cigarettes. He says the burglars on Saturday took about $10,000 in cigarettes, and it cost them a few $1,000 to repair the doors.
Like almost $15 a pack, so they're targeting cigarettes.
Investigators say there's a big demand for cigarettes on the black market. The Piedmont Avenue 7-Eleven is not alone. I reported on previous robberies of other Oakland 7-Eleven stores. Gunmen held up employees and security guards to rob cartons of cigarettes. Late last year, a robber shot and killed a security guard inside the Harrison Street 7-Eleven.
I hope these businesses stay, but we're starting to see businesses decide, well, it's just not worth it. We're going to go to another city.
And that's what apparently happened to 2 stores in Oakland. A source close to the company tells me 7-Eleven closed down 2 corporate-owned stores due to crime. The remaining 7-Elevens in Oakland are run by independent franchise owners.
Then the street starts, the neighborhood starts really going down, trash, you know, all kind of stuff. Yeah. And then what happens? We have to go further out just to get little things.
Customers say the crime and closures end up hurting the communities.
My heart goes out to the business owners, you know, and I know it's very frustrating. And I know you want to throw in the towel, but I'm asking you, just like a whole lot of consumers, just hang on a little bit longer.
It's just really difficult to see, and yeah, last thing we want to see is more businesses closed down, but hopefully we find a solution.
Oakland police report robbery is down 3% this year compared to last, and burglary is down 52% compared to last year.
It still feels unsafe. I mean, you literally go to get a pack of gum and this is what you see.
It's awfully frustrating. It feels like crime's down. Honestly, it feels like it's down a little bit, but then you get a reminder again when things like this happen.
Gautam hopes to get more police patrols.
I've been in Oakland for 24 years, and it never been like this worse, you know, so it's really heartbroken. So, you know, hope for the best.
The owner says he's not aware of any arrests in the latest case. Now, this 23rd Avenue store was a very busy store. I'm fairly familiar with it. I worked as a cashier at this location years ago when I was a teenager.
We did contact 7-Eleven corporate to get a response about the 2 store closures this afternoon, but have not heard back from them.
Well, there are more problems when calling 911 in Oakland. A woman's car was stolen and hours go by with no police response. Eventually, family members take matters into their own hands, and then things turned deadly.
In an NBC Bay Area exclusive, our Candace Wynn investigates a case where police are accused of botching a call for help.
This family says they made more than a dozen calls to police as they tracked their stolen property across Oakland. Now their loved one has been killed, and they say he would still be alive today if police had shown up like they said they would.
It was just before 8 p.m. on D Street in East Oakland.
Yep.
Tara Hutchinson says she got out of her rental car to open a gate when someone jumped into the driver's seat and took off. Her purse, devices, and tax documents inside. She asked a neighbor for help. He was the first to call 911.
Yeah, somebody just stole a lady's car right out here in front of my house.
Then we called my daughter, and my daughter said, hey, I have your iPad. The kids kind of start playing on the iPad, and they're like, hey, Grandma, we see your items moving. I'd already told the police I could track the devices on the phone.
We have have officers en route to you, okay?
Watching the devices move on their Find My iPhone app, the family says they followed along to report their location to police.
Where's it at right now? 88th Street. 88th Street.
We'll send a police officer out to meet with you over there.
According to the 911 recordings, dispatchers told Tara that officers were on the way at least 3 times. As the clock rolled past 10 p.m., 2.5 hours after she first called, police still hadn't shown up.
How many times did you call police, you think? At least 12, 13. At least 12 or 13 times.
We'll get somebody over there to you, okay?
Tara, her daughter, and granddaughters eventually followed the devices to a home near 102nd Avenue and International. That's when Tara's former son-in-law, Charles Calloway, and his cousin David Washington got involved. Tired of waiting on police, Tara says the men took matters into their own hands, confronting a person nearby who they believed had Tara's phone.
I heard a gunshot.
Surveillance video shows the person they confronted pull up to the home yelling. The people in the home tell us they had nothing to do with the theft and the woman was trying to sell them Tara's phone. Next, Charles and David go to the home. According to the police report, they were armed. Then, more gunshots, inside this time.
So I run in, and initially the guy pulls a gun out on me where I can see Charles laying on the ground. And so I'm explaining to him, this is my husband, kid's father. I'm just trying to make sure he's okay.
Mercedes stayed with Charles until he died. Her voice, the last thing he heard.
I love you. I appreciate everything you've done for us.
Court records shed more light on the shooting, but the family says they don't mention the stolen car or that Charles and David were trying to get Tara's property back. The police report says Charles and David forcefully entered the rear door of the residence with the intent to commit a residential robbery. The men exchanged gunfire with the homeowner, and someone in the home shot and killed Charles.
If police had responded right away to some of your first 911 calls,
Charles would be alive if the police had responded at all.
Even though a person in the home killed Charles, his cousin is facing a homicide charge because he's accused of committing a felony, the home invasion, that led to someone being killed. That cousin has pled not guilty. But Mercedes and her mom want the people inside the home to be held accountable. And they want police to understand this is what happens when officers don't respond.
And that's why people are taking matters into their own hands, because they're not getting assistance.
The investigative unit sent Oakland police this full-page list of questions about their response time and the stolen car, but they declined to comment, saying this is an open investigation. The 911 recordings do show dispatchers warned Tara and Mercedes not to confront the alleged thieves themselves.
why did you reach out to us?
Because I think people need to know what really happened. Charles was my son. I actually asked Charles not to come. I didn't want him to come.
Tara and Mercedes aren't the only ones waiting a long time for police to show up. Monthly average response times for priority 2 calls in Oakland, for instance stolen cars, went from about 2.5 hours several years ago to more than 6 hours last year. With the investigative unit, I'm Candace Wen, NBC Bay Area News.
Okay, thank you very much, Candace. Now, if you have a story for Candace or the investigative unit, you can call 888-996-TIPS, or you can visit our website, NBCBayArea.com/investigations.
Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Yahweh HaKadosh, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the elect. So I just want to go into a quick lesson, and I'm going to entitle this 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter is already in effect. And, you've seen the news clips that played, before this lesson started, and it's getting wild out here, man. Okay, now this is just one city, in Babylon, but it's complete lawlessness. The response time for the police department is hours, so that leads to, people taking matters into their own hands, okay? And also on the opposite side of that, crime is rampant, okay? And this is all spoken about in the scriptures, all right? And it's only going to get worse, okay? So we're just going to hop right into it. This is 2 Esdras 15, and let's start at 14. All right, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, which the word woe, when you look it up, it means destruction, okay? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the creator of the heavens and the earth, has pronounced destruction to this current world, okay? This current setup, all right? This current system. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai gonna destroy it because ain't nothing but wickedness taking place, okay? See, if you had a righteous society, you wouldn't have these things taking place, okay? You wouldn't have crime running rampant, okay? You wouldn't have poverty at such a high rate. Okay, these things happen because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai begins to curse wicked societies, all right? Or he brings curses upon wicked societies, all right? It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, okay? Which the sword, that represents these different wars that's going to take place, man, okay? And not just World War III, also the little skirmishes that's going to happen between the inhabitants of these different countries. Okay, just like you can see what's going on in Oakland in particular. It's crazy out there, man. All right, so now people are beginning to take matters into their own hands, but people getting murked. Okay, it's going to be like that on a scale times 1,000. All right, people getting killed everywhere. Okay, people stealing food from each other, stealing resources and killing each other, man. And then you're going to have the cannibals out here. Okay. They don't want your food. They don't want the resource that you have. They want you, okay, to lock you up and keep you so they can eat, all right? It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, okay? And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And pretty soon what you're going to have taking place, you're going to have different groups forming to protect themselves, man, okay? And like always, these groups are going, some are going to have the advantage over others, and they're going to start persecuting other people out here, man. Okay? Just like you see in all these post-apocalyptic movies, man. One group ends up rising to the top, and they dominate the area. Okay? Anybody that's not with that group, they destroy them, or they capture them and use them for whatever they want to use them for, man. It's getting ready to get real crazy out here. All right? And it's already crazy. You can see what's going on out here. All right. It says that one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, which the modern day sword is the gun. Okay. So you're going to have different groups armed roaming through these different cities, man. Okay. And just like out here, there ain't going to be no cops. Okay. The police departments are going to completely dissolve in that day when things really get turned up, man. Okay, see, right now it's just slow response times. There's certain crimes out here that the cops won't even respond to. Okay, if you go over to Oakland, you get robbed or something, your car gets stolen, the cops ain't gonna show up. They're not gonna respond to that. You're gonna have to file a police report, maybe online, or go to, the station and file a report, but they ain't showing up. Okay, or if they do, they gonna come hours later, maybe days later. They only coming out for violent crimes. All right. So it says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men. See, in these circumstances, it's going to cause sedition to increase. Okay, because here it is, the police are paid by your tax dollars. Okay, every time you go to the store and buy something, all right, every time you get paid, money is taken out of your check, okay? And that money goes to the state, all right? It also goes to the city that you live in, okay? Or if you got property, you got to pay property tax. You got a car, all right? Those fees that you pay to register your car with the state, that money goes to the state and it goes to the city, okay? So they can, function, all right? Here it is, you're paying these people to protect you, but they ain't doing their job, okay? Then you go and cry to the mayor, you cry to the governor. They ain't doing nothing about the situation. So what's going to pop up in these people's minds is that we got to do away with the government. Okay? Well, that's biblical prophecy. All right? The fact that that thought is going to pop into these people's minds and they're going to actually move to try to overthrow the government or just take matters into their own hands, that's a part of the prophecies of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And this sentiment is going to increase. All right? It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Okay? So you're going to have these different groups going against each other, man. Also different nations invading one another as well. Okay? It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And you've seen an example of that. Okay? It got to the point to where these people were waiting so long for the police to respond, okay, to a crime that's been committed against them. They took matters into their own hands. All right? And it ended up with, one dude getting put to death. Okay? This is going to be the new normal, man. All right? It's going to be dog eat dog, the survival of the fittest out here. Okay? The only way you're going to be able to protect yourself from becoming a victim of crime is if you are armed like the police are, or you got enough power to stop whoever trying to victimize you. Okay? Which again, this is all a part of the plan of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. These are part of the curses. This wouldn't happen in a righteous society. Okay? So let's say this did take place. Let's say somebody did rob somebody. Well, we're going to find whoever, committed that crime, and they're going to get judged accordingly. All right? And according to the scriptures, depending on what you steal, you're going to have to reimburse the individual that you stole from. Okay? So that would be the punishment that would be going out. It wouldn't be no, slow response to, we ain't worried about that crime. It's insignificant. No, you got to handle that situation, man. Why? So wickedness does not spread amongst Israel, man. Okay? You got to put away evil from the people. Okay? Because when this word gets out that, look, the police have slow response time, that emboldens other criminals, okay, to go out and do what they want to do. All right? See, so to quell that, you have to execute righteous judgment. Okay? But Esau Edom, he's completely off, so he ain't going to do that. All right? It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, which the kings and the princes represent the rulers. Okay, so your mayors, your police, the sheriff, all right, the board of supervisors, the governors, okay, the different politicians. All right, so they ain't gonna regard none of those people. And it's getting to that point. Okay, why are you gonna, adhere to what these people are saying when they're not doing their job? Okay, so I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. You've seen that on, this news clip. Somebody actually did that. Okay, he ended up getting put to death. But nevertheless, the case stands, man. They took matters into their own hands. This is gonna happen more and more. Okay, and it's already so bad out there in Oakland that you got, whole franchise just up and leaving, shutting down stores because the crime is out of control, man. Okay? It says they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They're going to be able to do what they want to do because there ain't going to be no law enforcement out here. Okay? And nobody's going to adhere to the law because everybody else ain't doing it. Why are you going to abide by the law, okay, the laws of the land, when the people that's victimizing you, they don't care about the laws? All right? So you're going to have to take matters into your own hands. You're going to be able to do what you want to do because there ain't going to be no police departments out there, okay? And Oakland is a microcosm of what 2nd Esdras the 15th chapter is talking about, okay? Verse 17, it says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. And these cities are troubled, man. Okay, Oakland in particular is a troubled city, but it's going to get worse, all right? This is just the beginning, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai breaking down Babylon. Okay? All you people getting ready to experience what's going on in Oakland times 1,000. It's going to be bad out here, man. Okay? Different groups going after each other. Different groups coming after you. Okay? You think, let's see if I just, keep to myself, then nobody's going to bother me. No, they're going to come after you, man. Okay? And the reason why they're going to come after you is because it's the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We just read in the 14th verse, the Most High said, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. The Most High got a problem with you people down here on the earth, man, especially you Babylonians. Okay? So you're going to experience this. Okay? You're going to come across marauding groups. They're going to kill you. You're going to get in some kind of skirmish with them. Okay? Some kind of physical fight, physical altercation. You might exchange gunfire. You might get hit. Okay, they might capture you and take you back to their compound, man. All right, or if you got a woman, you got daughters, they're gonna take them. Okay, that's gonna be one of the main things that these different groups are gonna be looking for: women and young girls, man. Okay, and little boys as well. All right. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled." Okay, so the reason why these things are gonna happen is because of the pride of you people. All right. Your pride when it comes to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, okay? You refusing to acknowledge Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and execute his ways, all right? And Oakland, that's a wicked ass city. It's out here in the Bay Area, you would think that, you know, San Francisco would be the capital of, you know, sodomites. Oakland has got more sodomites than San Francisco does, man. Okay, particularly, them bull daggers, man. Okay? That city is infested with them. Okay? It has more, lizards than any city out here in the Bay Area. Okay? It's a very liberal city. Okay? And the majority of lizards out there, so-called black women, man. All right? So you can see why the things that are happening in Oakland are happening, man. Okay, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is definitely not pleased with what's taking place out there. Okay? It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Okay? And that fear is only going to increase. People are already afraid out there. They see what's happening. Okay? And you can call the cops if somebody's doing something to you, but the cops ain't going to show up. Okay? The only time the cops going to show up is if it's a shooting, all right, or some other violent crime. Okay, but if somebody's shooting at you, more than likely you're gonna die, all right? You calling the cops if somebody's shooting at you is not really gonna help you at all, man, okay? It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, okay? And this is getting ready to happen. See, Oakland hasn't reached that point yet, but it's gonna reach that point, all right? See, people stealing from stores now, they robbing random people on the street. Okay, but what are you gonna do when those stores don't exist? Okay, it's like you've seen 7-Eleven, they closed down 2 stores. And so bad out there in Oakland, they don't really got ATMs out there, all right? So people be stealing the ATMs. They'll steal all the money in the ATM and use it for whatever they need it for, okay? But they stealing ATMs out there, all right? So it's real bad out there. But when they can't go to these different establishments and steal, where are they gonna go? They're gonna turn to you, all right? They're gonna start breaking into your house, all right? Stealing what you got, taking your food, taking you, all right? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. And again, the modern day sword is the gun. So they're gonna kick your door in, okay? And they're gonna enter into your house armed, all right? Anything you got, they're gonna take. All right, it says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, okay? Because of the lack of bread, there is going to be a famine out here, all right? Which we ain't even got to that point yet. Imagine how much worse it's going to be when there ain't no food out here, okay? What these people going to be doing, all right? It says, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, okay? And like I said, it's only going to increase. It's only going to get worse, man. You think it's bad now, wait till Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai really opens up on this place, man. So I just wanted to go into that. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai willing. It was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Shem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone. Shalom.